Okay, so now that we have the best keywords picked for our website, I'm going to show you exactly where you need to put those keywords on your home page. And I'm actually going to give you a live example on my website, one that I set up a long time ago and really haven't updated recently. And it's actually not so great. So I'm going to go in and update the home page, and I'm going to show you step by step where I would put the keywords that I just found on the page to optimize for search engines. All right, let's go to the computer and check it out. Okay, so here's my current home page. We're going to work on improving the on-page optimization for the keyword that we discovered in the last video, the how to find the best keyword. And we determined that that keyword was wedding photographers in Columbia, SC. Okay, so right now we're going to do a quick analysis. I'm actually going to switch over to a different browser here. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick analysis with the Moz keyword page optimization tool. Now this is a Moz Pro feature, so you may not be able to access this if you don't have Moz Pro. But I'm going to look at this because I'd like to see that I have a score of 69 right now. We're going to try to get that up. It's going to be a good little measurement tool for us for this video to see if we can get this score up. Okay, so it tells us a few things that we should do. I'm not going to read all of these right now, but I know a few things that I need to do, and we're going to start with those. We can actually switch over here to the page analysis tool, which you can get this in the free version of the toolbar. And we can see that our page title is home-wedding photography in Columbia, SC, Ablaze photography. The meta description is not found. The H1 does not include the keyword. And the alt text uses wedding photography, so not the right keyword. And we actually don't have the keyword anywhere in the body copy either, so we're basically 0 out of 5, and we don't have the keyword in any of the places. So this is going to be a great example of me showing you exactly where you should put keywords on your home page. Okay, so we are going to go here into the WordPress dashboard. I'm just going to show you from the beginning here. We'll go to Pages, and then we'll go to Home, which is my front page right now. And what I'm going to be doing is using the Yoast SEO plugin. And you can actually set if you go to titles and metas with Yoast SEO, you can set the default templates for what your titles and meta descriptions are going to be by, without setting them individually on a page level. It will automatically use that template, and so that's probably what's happening here, and I haven't edited that template, so it's using the default. We're going to override that here at the page level, so we'll actually go ahead and put in the focus keyword photographers. Now, one thing about the Yoast tool is that if you don't use the keyword exactly like you put it in here, it's not going to register it. And so even capitalization and punctuation can matter, so this may not even work exactly like we want it to. In fact, let's make sure that that's probably going to be closer to how we're going to use it, and see if that makes a difference. Now, we don't need to necessarily pay attention to every single thing on Yoast. I have another video about how to get a perfect score with the Yoast tool. But for right now, we're just going to focus on, we're going to hit Edit Snippet, and we're going to focus on this SEO title and the meta description. Now, we're not going to do anything on the slug because this is the home page, and we want to keep that at the root domain. So let's go ahead and update the title, and we are going to use, I have already written it out here, I'm just going to go ahead and paste it in, Ablaze photography, and I'm going to use the divider here, wedding photographers in Columbia, SC. Okay, so it's showing us that it potentially might cut that a little bit, and I'm okay with that. We still get in Columbia, and Google has actually expanded the title length and meta description length recently, or at least they're testing it, and so as long as I still get most of that in there, I'm going to be completely fine with that. And we're still in the green here, so we're good to go. Now we're going to use a meta description. I've already written that as well. It says wedding photographers in Colombia, SC, who focus on connection, relationships, and the special moments shared between lovers. Okay, so you want to write something here that will compel the searcher to click. All right, so I wanted to use the keyword if possible, although it is not 100% required that you use the keyword here in the meta description. I'm actually going to leave that lowercase. There we go. But so here's the thing. Meta descriptions are not a ranking factor. However, they do affect click-through rate, because whenever this shows up in the SERPs, you are going to get a higher click-through rate whenever you use keywords that are directly or exactly what the searcher used. So whenever they see the words that they typed in showing directly back to them in bold, they're more likely to click it. So that's why you want to include keywords in a meta description. If you don't use them exactly in the right order or at the beginning, it's not necessarily going to hurt your ranking directly, at least, but click-through rate does affect ranking, and so higher click-through rates mean higher ranking in general. So we want to have the keyword there in the title and in the meta description, and we have that both. Now, some people will tell you that you want to get the keyword as close to the beginning as possible, so they would tell you to switch this around, and I would tell people that in general. For years I was telling people that, no, just switch this, put wedding photographers in Colombia, SC, pipe, ablaze photography, switch that around. However, recently, in the past few months, I have found that Google is almost always switching this automatically in the SERPs. So even if I were to switch this around, Google can rewrite my page title, how it displays it in the SERPs if they want. And I'm finding that for photographers, it is very common for the name to be added before the description, or the description of the page. And actually usually I think they use a colon. So we're just going to go with the format that Google prefers whenever they rewrite a page title. And I'll go ahead and write it that way the first time so they don't have to rewrite it, and hope that they see that favorably. So that's not necessarily a guaranteed thing, and you will find other SEOs who might give you different advice. And I'm telling you this based on my own personal experience looking at hundreds and hundreds of search results pages for photography related keywords, and I'm finding that almost always, even whenever you write it the other way, Google's going to switch it. So why don't we just put it this way the first time? Also, one more side note on that. I think whenever someone is searching for wedding photographers in Colombia, SC, they want to know that they are finding a business whenever they're looking. So they might find The Knot and Wedding Wire and Thumbtack and other things like that. But if they're looking to find a photographer's website, then seeing, hey, this is actually a business, Ablaze Photography, that's a photographer and they have a website and they probably have exactly what I'm looking for, a portfolio and an about page and contact form. If they are thinking in that mindset, then I think this encourages even more clicks, which is probably why we see Google rewriting it like that for photographers in general. Now, this is not necessarily across the board true for all different industries, but Google can be very specific for types of queries and types of industries. And this is what we're seeing right now in early to mid 2016. This may change again in the future, so just keep an eye on it. Okay, now let's move on. We have the title and meta description using the keyword now. We're going to close the snippet editor. And we are going to come out. Now I'm using Divi and the Divi page builder. And so this is actually where I have my H1. You can see heading 1 right here. And I'm going to change this to be very simple. I'm not trying to be cute or creative or anything right here. I'm just going to say, we are wedding photographers in Columbia, SC. Actually, let's make that all caps. Oops. All right, we are wedding photographers in Columbia, SC. Let's see. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and use some body copy that I've written right here on this section. Actually, let's see if that's going to be... yeah, that's going to be a good spot. Okay, so we're going to put that in here. So Corey and Ashley Potter are wedding photographers in Columbia, SC. There's my keyword. And here's my keyword, obviously, who focus on capturing stories and memories of people in love. Our love for weddings comes from our love for marriage. We started working together as wedding photographers a few months after we got married and quickly realized that because of our bond with each other, we were able to focus on the connection between couples. We hope you'll see that connection in our photos. Read about us here. Now, I want to go ahead and get my about, meet us. And I want to link to that. So I'm going to put this link in here. And it's good to put links to other pages on your site here in the text on the home page when it's possible. In fact, I don't think I have. I have some formatting issues that need to be fixed on this site. Again, this is kind of a site that I have not used recently. And I am working on kind of updating this as we go. So recent work, blog. Here's what I'm going to actually do for right now. I am going to use, let's see, wedding photographers. Is that what I want to use? Let's do capturing stories and memories. I'm going to use this as anchor text for linking to my blog. Now, this is not ideal. Actually, the thing that I would want to do is maybe say wedding photographers and then link to a wedding gallery or something like that. So there's some other things you can do here with linking. We're not going to get too much into that right now. Mostly I'm talking about text and getting the keywords here in on your home page, and we've done that here. Is there anything else we want to change? So one other thing I want to mention here is you hear a lot of people talking about rank brain right now, and you might hear people talk about LSI, which is latent semantic indexing. And so the search engines are looking at context. And so if there's a page about weddings, then they want to find that page to have other words that are expected on pages about weddings. So, for example, love, marriage, couples, connection, memories. All of these things are words that are related to weddings. Photographers, we have photos, we have, even weddings are related to photographers. So things like that, we want to make sure that we include semantic terms, not just the exact. So we don't want to stuff this paragraph with wedding photographers in Columbia, SC. Notice how I used it once in the H1 and only used it once exactly in the body text. And on this page, that's probably enough. I maybe could fit it in one more time near the bottom, and that would probably be okay. Maybe in the footer even. But as far as putting it in 4 or 5 times in the paragraph, you don't need to do that. It doesn't help anything at that point. So, but see, I did get wedding photographers again in here, and I didn't get Columbia in anymore. Again, in the footer, I could put my address that has Columbia, SC, and that's getting that keyword in. So the whole keyword doesn't have to appear exactly like this lots of times. You want it to appear exactly like this at least a few times. In the H1, in the page title, in the meta description, and in the body copy, but we're not worried about stuffing it in and putting in multiple times, or at least not too many times so that it feels unnatural. So we're going to save that. And the last thing that I want to do is I want to make sure that I have the keywords in some of the alt text. Now in this case, I'm going to put it on this top image, I think. Actually, I'm not sure with the way that I have Divi set up if I'm going to be able to do that. Okay, so this is going to get a little bit tricky. I may have to pause this video and come back. This is one of those things where it really depends on your theme and how you have things set up. So I'm using a plugin to show this gallery, and I'm probably going to need to go into the settings of that plugin and play around a little bit and figure out how to put the alt text. But instead of making this video really long with me fumbling through trying to figure that out, I'm just going to tell you that the 5th place that you want to put your keyword is in the alt text of images on your homepage. Now, I don't necessarily want you to put wedding photographers in Columbia SC on every single alt text for every single image. You know, and some of these are in Charleston, and some of these, I mean, that one's in Virginia, like they're all over the place. And if I just put Columbia SC wedding photographer on all of these, or wedding photographers in Columbia SC, that wouldn't make any sense. But some of these I can, so I might, you know, describe them exactly what I want to do. I want to describe them to someone who couldn't see the images. So if for some reason these images don't display because of you know, they're blocking images, or you know, it's someone who is using accessibility features in a screen reader because they are blind or cannot see the images clearly, you want the alt text to describe what is in the image. So the ones that are in Columbia and can use that keyword accurately, then I think that is a great place to get your keyword, and at least on a few of them. Now, I would like to put alt text on all of the images, but I want it to accurately describe the images. So the idea is that I'm going to find at least a few. So I have, you know, several here that are in Columbia. So I'll put wedding photographers in Columbia SC somewhere in the alt text if I can make it work. All right, so those are the places that I want to put the keyword on the home page, and I'm going to actually go ahead and save things. I'm going to go in and get that alt text set, and then I'm going to come back and check the score, and I'll show you what I did. Okay, so just wanted to come back here and show you that I got some of the alt text updated to have the keywords. I will actually go in more later and finish updating all of the images on the home page with alt text, but for right now I have the keyword in at least some of them. And I was also able to get the keyword here into the footer of the page. So we're going to check the score again here. Let's see, wedding in Columbia SC. Let's get the score. 94. Excellent. All right, so you can see that we were able to improve significantly just by adding the keywords in those 5 places: the page title, the meta description, the H1, the body copy, and the alt text on the images. Okay, I hope that was helpful, and I hope you realize that getting your keywords on your home page doesn't have to be spammy. It doesn't have to be difficult. You just need to include them in a few key places, and then you need to write normally. You need to write as if you're writing to the visitor, not to the search engines. And as long as you include your keywords in those key places that I've mentioned here in this video, you're going to be dominating the search engine results pages. All right, good luck.